well, it's not as bad. But let's just say that I would divide this room in two halves. You all would not find a job in engineering. So it's 57, up to 57%. For a field that is so close to technology that thinking about it leads you to a situation where you don't understand how these people cannot find jobs. So we developed our mission-driven company as one that offers tech talent as a service. We train tech talent that already had a background in math, engineering, computer science, but couldn't find a job. We bring in people that know what it takes to land a job at IBM in Germany, that know what it takes to land a job in a startup in Munich or in Silicon Valley that is rapidly expanding, or even, for that matter, in Lebanon, and brings in these skill set. Our engineers go through a training of 3 to 5 months where we match technological skills, and there's 3 technologies that I was touching on earlier. So artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning on one hand, JavaScript frameworks as a second cluster, and thirdly, server architectures such as Amazon Web Services. We train them in these technologies, and after 10 weeks already, they're ready to be placed in companies and generate revenues. Meanwhile, all of them have a salary and a contract with us, where we are actually bold enough to say, from the first month and from the first day that you start with us, you will get a fair salary. And that salary is actually double the size of what you usually earn in this market if you find a job. How is it that we can make that happen? Well, we know that after 10 weeks or 12 weeks, because we will work very, very hard for more than 60 hours a week, we can find these people jobs in good companies, and they'll be able to communicate effectively. They'll be leaders in their technology field, and they'll be able to sustain this engagement for 6 to 12 months, sometimes 18 months. So our engineers are placed with these companies. Companies pay us as a company for these services, and we distribute fair and good salaries to our workers. And that's a model that we believe is scalable, and we believe can be taken from Tunis, where we started now with the first cohort, into other areas of Tunis, and can also be taken into countries like Libya, Algeria, Morocco, and also West Central South Africa. So as I said, just to give you an overview, because this is, and I'm showing you some slides of our pitch deck that we usually use in order to speak to supporters or companies. It's a problem that is broken down very much into a comprehensible and easy to understand solution for companies and also organizations. Because we just say that we are an online staffing service that facilitates talent and trains talent. And at the same time, we are a launchpad for these young technologists that we work with. And I was already talking about our mission, that we are hoping to expand now into other areas of the continent, and are using a very similar model, similar to the one that I experienced at Chiron, but now with the element of actually getting people jobs. What is important to say is that we believe in one element that doesn't have to do with training, that doesn't have to do with job connection, opportunity. It's a very tangible one, which is a space. So we have this strong spatial element. Why did we decide to integrate this? And that was actually something that only came up at SIPA. We were thinking about connecting people even before, but it took us taking classes like creating a social enterprise, technology solutions for development and social change, here at this very same space, to figure out, after interviewing hundreds of students and asking them, what's your problem? Why are you not present on Upwork or other platforms to seek employment? That it is really about a feeling. It's about a feeling that tells you, I want to be part of something bigger. And I'm a young person now in Tunisia, or in Libya, any other country, and it's just really hard not to be part of this rapidly changing world. And it takes a lot for me to go and create an account on Upwork, to update my profile, to engage in this new world, because I'm missing this feeling. And so we said, we want to create this space. We want to invite people. We want to create this strong feeling of belonging in this brand. And this is why we decided to open our company with a spatial element. And so what happens on a very real level is that all of these remotely working technologies are coming together. And I'm just coming from one of our check-ins actually before the talk, where we have daily rounds where we discuss topics. Today we discussed the topic of migration actually, from sub-Saharan Africa into North Africa into Europe. Because it is so important to also give engineers, technologists, the feeling that they are part of a changing world. However, I wanted to touch on one other factor that I believe is the most important factor. And I selected this picture not because I believe it's Microsoft or Bill Gates that is the most important success factor. It's to say that it's not necessarily technology. I know that there's a big buzz around technology, and I was just showing the chart, and I'm making a pitch for a tech company and making it seem so easy to fix the world through yet another app or yet another platform. But what I believe is a true success factor, and this is, for those that know Game of Thrones, this is just a very, very great group of people. The real success factor is the people around you, and the people that you can call part of your team, or your friends, your mates, your cohort, whoever it is. Because throughout the past 2 years here at SIPA, there was one factor that united everything, and that was the people that I was working with. And that started in a classroom, that started here at the Earth Institute when I started working with Millennium Villages project. It's your team that you surround yourself with, and it was something that I experienced in Turkey, and Tunisia, and here. And also other companies experience this. And just to give some examples, this is not a Halloween show. This is the real Microsoft team led by Bill Gates, but what you can see is that people really shared a common vision. And that vision even expanded to their choice of clothing. And the same was true for PayPal, and these are some really shady looking guys, sorry to say that, but that is a real picture too. All of these organizations managed to create a work culture that was something that went beyond salary, that was something that went beyond a job description or something. And I personally believe that if we manage to curate this and take us to another level, also in policy making, we'll be able to change many, many more things and be much further ahead than we are right now. And it's funny that I say this while looking at it. This is a picture taken between my time in Turkey and actually heading back to Turkey. I think except 2 people, these are all SIPA, SIPOs. And it was just a gathering at a friend's house, and we did the so-called snake high five, which is indicative of a shared vision, I think. I think for others it's just a stupid thing to do. But a lot of these people on the picture were also ones that we hacked problems with. We organized case challenges coming from the Earth Institute with real problems, where we gathered 12 people around for 4 days and hacked through things and offered solutions that were then taken back to Ghana to help a rural hospital. Just to give you a glance of what we were doing, it was all the same people. The same people were the ones that we did group studies with, or were looking into improving the refugee response on Lesbos for volunteer-led organizations. You know, it's the same people that are capable of doing all of this, but it's not the work or the profiles that make that happen. It's something bigger. We created a team in Tunis, and I think this is what I wanted to say. We did launch a company, but we created a team that is capable of, I believe, changing the future of North Africa and bringing back something that has been lost for quite a while, which is a real opportunity. We always talk about hope, but how does hope happen? I think it's it's the feeling to seeing opportunity regularly, even if it's once a year, but you need to see it in order to keep it up. And I think this is what our company ultimately tries to do. And so, I'm almost through, but I wanted to share with you one video of Think.it.
By 2020, the US and the EU will be in need of another 1.5 million software engineers. And technology is changing at a pace too fast for companies to keep up with. Back with my old team in Berlin, it was tough. We've been looking for that one data scientist for months, and we simply couldn't find anyone.
In North Africa, there are tens of thousands of tech graduates every year. The problem is that the economy doesn't provide enough jobs, so more than half of them end up unemployed. There is tremendous potential. Technically, they're highly sophisticated. By the time we got here, they had already won hackathons, coding challenges, and competitions.
They just need someone who believes in them and gives them the opportunity to prove themselves.
What Think.it does is that it trains the brightest software developers from North Africa and places them in leading engineering teams around the world.
They do online courses and support each other during the hands-on project sessions in the space.
From day one, 14 hours a day, sometimes late at night, there were training sessions about React.js and Redux, and everybody's really enjoying working on these latest technologies because they're really passionate about it.
The future of work will look entirely different from how we know it today. And not only do they become good coders, but actually great team players working on agile teams distributed around the world.
Our engineers are paid from day one, they work out of Tunis, and they don't have to leave home because opportunity is much closer now.
And you can feel it, the vibes, you can feel the energy, the happiness. People are really, really motivated to solve these problems and to gain more soft skills, but also technical skills.
And I believe our clients just realized that this huge talent pool all of a sudden became available to them. And the beauty of it is that it can kickstart an entire generation.
So as you could see, we also love pizza. This is why we have it all over the place. This was to give you a glance at our team and the space that I was talking about. We have a few more minutes, and I just
North Korea, which is the big story of the day, if not the year. People are understandably very worked up about this. According to a new
Yes. One second. This is also what happens through technology. There's a lot of new problems that are created that you can solve. So I was talking about the space and the team, but wanted to give you a last insight into what we do within our actual training. And this is bringing together the soft and tech skills. What that means, and I took this slide out of one of our intro presentations for the new cohorts. What that means is that people go through 17 weeks that are just really, really tough. Because no one ever said it was going to be easy. And that it's something that we experience, and to me is actually very different from what I've seen in New York and also Europe, is that you gather people around, have them be part of the common space, give this mission and vision out there, give a almost impossible training program, and they're gonna make it happen because it's something that they've been waiting for a long time. this is just an overview of these modules and elements that we're doing. Yes, technological skills are a heavy part of it, but what is also an integral element is mindfulness. And I wanted to speak about this because I wanted to get this concept out there. I believe that if we reflected more, and if we dared more to talk to ourselves, I think we could overcome many more problems and challenges. Every morning, our engineers have this mindfulness session where we actually distribute readings. We also have a Canvas board where we ask people to write blog posts, to share their thoughts. But these morning sessions, especially coupled with technology, they show you that what is needed as we move into this new world with artificial intelligence and machine learning is that we reflect on what we're doing much more. And it is our goal to train technologists, but it is more important that these technologies will be very awake and very aware of what they're going to do. And what that could mean for their entire region. And so that was just a short reflection that I wanted to make at this point. What we built so far, and this is to sum up, during my time at SIPA, I went to Turkey and I was supporting the organization there. Pretty much found what I was actually looking for all along, and that was the desire to build something and build a team. We did this in Tunis. Our founding team, Amal Abid, Yasha Arawa, and myself. Amal is a computer science and philosophy graduate here from Colombia, has previously worked with Microsoft and Amazon. I've known Yasha for 8 years. We did our undergrad in business together back in Germany. He's probably the most organized, well-managed person, and has always been a good friend. And we hired first key positions. Fatim, Bashir, and Haitham that joined us in the very beginning. We gained supporters in Tunisia and also internationally. We discussed the concept of Think.it in Algeria and Morocco in the past months, simply because it's something that I believe is needed there too. And you can see that anywhere where we have young people that don't immediately find these opportunities, you seek something like Think.it. We had our first event in Tunisia that was called She Made It, and is looking to inspire more women to think of careers in tech. We started at a high school level, so we had about 60, 70 girls coming from various high schools in Tunis, and about 50 women from various universities that are now thinking of either choosing their majors or what to do once they graduate. And we essentially just connected this amazing group with speakers that came from Amazon, Microsoft. We had people that Skyped in from Silicon Valley and were just there. Even though they were not physically there, they were there and they were speaking to that group. And that was something that was amazing to witness, because young Tunisians don't expect that Silicon Valley will talk to them. And that's just a mindset that I think needs to be changed. Is something that I think should also be gone about here at SIPA, is that we come from various countries, but there is a lot of stigma related, and there's a lot of psychological work that has to be done.